What's up, guys? This is Matt with the Ramsey Voice Studio, and thank you for downloading this video. I can tell you that one of the biggest differences between professional singers and people that are just getting started out are often some really just simple singing techniques. Now, if you have a voice, you can sing, period. All it takes is a little bit of insider information and some of these specialized techniques that I'm going to show you today. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to make a video that condensed some of the most powerful singing techniques all into one video. You ready to get started? All right, let's do it. Now, the first technique that we're going to talk about is a tall posture. Now, many singing teachers and many singers, as a matter of fact, talk about posture and on and on and on and on and on, and take, several lessons, several weeks, and just talk about posture before they even do any singing. It's crazy. Now, posture is important, don't get me wrong, but it's not the end-all be-all. But today, I'm just going to show you the very one simple posture that you need in order to optimize your body for singing. What you're going to do is you're going to bring your feet to about shoulder width apart so that my feet and my shoulders are in a line together. So my hips should be over my feet, my shoulders should be over my hips and all in a straight line. You're also going to keep your head nice and tall. You're not going to stretch your neck forward, up, or down. You're just going to keep it forward as if you've got a spot on the wall that you're just keeping your head gazed at. Now I'm going to turn to the side and show you that same thing. So I'm standing up nice and tall. I've got my feet and my shoulders all in one line. Everything is nice and straight and tall. And this is really important because there's a lot of singer-songwriters out there that, as soon as they get in front of the mic and play their guitar, they're kind of like, leaning over, and basically you're just losing a lot of the built-in support that you have from all of your neck muscles. So what you want to do is you want to just keep everything relaxed, keep your chest nice and tall, keep your navel tucked in, and keep everything in line like that. Great, easy, right? Perfect. Now, let's talk about the second singing technique that's going to improve your voice, and that is the diaphragmatic breath. Now, this is another one that teachers spend so much time on. And I understand why. It's because without proper breath support, you simply can't sing very well, or at least the singing that you do isn't going to sound as great as it could be. So let's go ahead and fix it really quickly. The way that you take a diaphragmatic breath is you keep your nice tall posture, and if I'm keeping my nice tall posture, I want you to go ahead and place your hands over your stomach, just like this. Now I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see what I do. But as I have my hands over my tummy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to inhale in a way that expands my stomach outward, like this. And as I exhale, I'm going to bring my stomach back in. That's it. That is singing from the diaphragm, or that's breathing from the diaphragm. We're going to start singing from that very soon. But notice that so many singers, when they inhale, will just go right into their shoulders, or they'll start lifting their chest, or they'll start craning their neck in order to take in the biggest breath that they can. No, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to really simply inhale, and as we inhale, our stomach comes out, and as we exhale, our stomach comes in. Got it? Great job. Now, while you're doing this, make sure that you're practicing in front of a mirror, because if you see any of this while you're inhaling from the diaphragm, you're doing it wrong. You want to make sure that your tummy is always expanding on the inhale, contracting on the inhale. Fantastic job, everyone. The third singing technique that I want to talk about today is relaxation. Now, this is a little bit more of a general singing technique, but it's very important that as you're learning to sing, you want to make sure that your voice is staying relaxed. Now, there's all sorts of indicators that indicate when people are straining or they're pushing when they're singing. In other words, that they're not relaxed. A couple of the main spots that I want to show you today are both in the larynx, right here, kind of this voice box in the middle of your throat. And the second place is in their tongue. And the way that I want you to check for your tongue tension is by placing your thumb just underneath your chin on this kind of meaty part here. Now go ahead and place your thumb there, and what I want you to do is I want you to swallow. So when you swallow, you may notice that that muscle underneath your tongue is actually pressing against your thumb. And now when we're singing, we actually want that to stay relaxed pretty much the entire time. There's some consonants and stuff like that when you sing them, your tongue may kind of grab at that a little bit. But more than anything, we want to keep that really, really relaxed. So as we continue through our vocal warm-ups today, you can occasionally just feel underneath here. And if you feel any of that kind of muscle grabbing at your thumb there, you're doing it wrong. Try to consciously relax those things. The second, and probably the more important and probably more often that I see this one, is tension in the larynx. And when you see tension in kind of these muscles surrounding the larynx, you know right away that something's going wrong. That, maybe I'm hitting a high note and I'm, Mom! And all these guys are getting really tense. Instead, what we want to do is just very, very gently take your two fingers, your thumb and your forefinger, and you want to just feel your larynx in your throat here. Now, you certainly don't want to manhandle it, you don't want to grab it, you don't want to push it down, push it up, push it back, anything like that. You're just feeling, you're just monitoring with your two fingers like this. And if you want, you can give it a little bit of a rock back and forth. Now, as you're singing, it's very important that even if you're you want to make sure that this guy is staying relaxed. If you feel it traveling upwards, it's probably just a little bit tighter or a little bit more strained than you want it to. Fantastic. Now that you've learned to kind of start relaxing as we move through our warm-ups, let's move into the actual warm-up section. And that's our next singing technique, is making sure that you have a proper warm-up. Now, a lot of people would be like, Matt, let's just get right into the exercises. But I wanted to take a second and just talk about the importance of warming up. It is a very crucial singing technique. It's one that very few singers actually do. And it's kind of funny because singing is so competitive and there's so many people trying to be great singers. You'd think that everybody would do everything within their power in order to sing their best, but a lot of people don't actually warm up their voice. So the warm-up is going to do two very important things for you. Number one, it's going to clear and clean your vocal folds. Oftentimes we have a bit of mucus or maybe some mucus caused by acid reflux or something like that sitting on the vocal cords or the vocal folds themselves. Now, a warm-up or a proper warm-up is going to clear some of the mucus off of there, especially as I continue doing kind of like some and stuff like that. That g is really going to kind of kick off some mucus as I do that. And the second thing that a warm-up is going to do for you is it's going to supply a little bit more blood flow to the area, which is going to, in turn, kind of allow you to stretch a little bit more and kind of push yourself a little bit further. Not push in the bad way, just push yourself a little bit further and you'll probably notice that your high notes get a little bit easier. Now, the next singing technique that I want to talk about is actually our very first singing warm-up. Now, a lot of people, when they start off singing, think that there's a huge difference between speaking and singing. Now, the biggest problem with that is that if you think that everything has to sound like, I'm in love with the world through the eyes of a girl, and that's not your true voice, all that extra breath is actually going to inhibit your progress. So in a lot of singers that I see that are just starting off, they think that singing pretty means singing breathy, and that is not the case at all. What in fact we want is we want some chest voice. How do we get some chest voice? We want to simply speak on the notes. So I'm going to give you an exercise real quick to help you find a little bit of chest voice. Now, gentlemen, I'm going to start you right down here on a D3. Ladies, we're going to do the same thing, but on a G3, starting right there. So I'll go ahead and do one and followed by the other. So guys, what I want you to do is I want you to take your proud, big speaking voice, and I want you to go ahead and count numbers on this simple scale. So it's a 5-tone scale, 5 tones up, 5 tones down, and I want you to just say that on the numbers like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With me now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if at any point you feel like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not quite correct. What I want you to do is really feel like you're projecting to the back row of the audience. Ladies, we're going to do the same thing right here with G3 as our starting pitch, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job, everyone. So that 5-tone count will really give you a little bit of the taste of what that chest voice kind of feeling or that projected strong voice is going to be like. Now, the next thing that I want to do, the next warm-up that I want to show you is one of my absolute favorites. And it's one of my favorites because it tends to work for just about everybody. And it's called the lip trill. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos or read any other of my blogs, you've probably seen me talk about the lip trill a little bit, but it's really, really simple. All you're gonna do is take your 2 fingers and place them in the middle of your cheeks and let your lips flop together as you blow air, like this. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and add a little bit of an vowel behind that, just like you're saying the word other. So in my voice, it can be pretty much anywhere in your voice, guys. You can start off like here, like, ladies, you can start off a fifth above that on this G3. And what we're gonna do once you've got those lips flopping together is we're actually gonna do that on a long scale. So here's the scale. Now I know that sounds really complicated and really intimidating. Don't let it intimidate you. We can break it down really easily. I like to break it down in 3/4 time or in triplets like this. Triplet, 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 done. So just remember it's 6 notes up to the top, 7 notes on the way down like this. Triplet, 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 done. Great. Now let's try that on the lip trill. So in my voice, I'm gonna go ahead and do it without the fingers because I have to play the piano at the same time. But what I want you to try is just keep your lips flopping really evenly all the way from the bottom to the top of that scale like this. Now here, guys. Great job. Now, if your lips start kind of coming apart or anything like that, that's totally fine. The most important thing with this is that you just get the feeling of those lips bubbling the entire time. So even if it, try to get it back because that's really, really important. Ladies, we're gonna do the same thing right here. So, one more. Great job, guys. And just by kind of singing from the very bottom to the very top part of your voice there, you're really getting the feeling of what we want, kind of that really connected and smooth, kind of like an sound to be. So rather than having a big big old break or anything in the middle of that, you want to keep that really smooth, and the lip trill will certainly help with that. Well, great. Well, I can lip trill fantastically, Matt, but what if I want to sing on stage? Well, I want to go ahead and give you a couple of exercises with our mouths open that you could actually theoretically start to use in a song, and it would help you sing it better. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use that same scale, that 1.5 scale. And this time what we're going to do is we're just going to sing that on the word gee. Gee, 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 just like you're saying the word geese. Now, what is really tempting here to do is to kind of change that word as you go up. For a lot of beginning singers, they'll gee, 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 gee. But remember, singing is just an extension of your speech. So go ahead and pretend like you're just saying the same word over and over and over throughout that whole scale. So here it is in my voice and for guys. So and remember, it's totally fine to kind of check with your larynx as you do this, guys. I'll do it with the scale now. Great job. job, guys. And if at any point you feel it's like gee, 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 just remember to kind of focus on that G, just like you're saying the word geese, 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 geese over and over. Ladies, we're gonna do the same thing right here. So gee, 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 gee. Gee, 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 gee. Gee, 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 fantastic job, everyone. So now that you've got a feel for kind of going from the very bottom to the very top of your voice really quickly like that in a really connected way, so rather than gee, 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 going really breathy and letting it break, and singing instead gee, 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 singing from the bottom to the top, really connected, let's actually take a look at some of the treble notes that tend to throw most people off. For guys, that'd probably be right around like an F sharp, F, or an E in that area. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you a scale that kind of targets those notes, and then I'm gonna give you an exercise to help you solidify those notes even a little bit more. So the scale is just like this. We're walking up from the bottom, we're repeating the top note 4 times, and then coming back like this. Good. And now what I want you guys to do is I want you to actually sing that on a bratty neigh. And again, if you've watched any of my other videos or have been reading some of my other blogs, you'll see me talk about the bratty neigh a lot because it tends to work for so many people. So what I want you to do is I want you to pretend like you're a little brat on the playground, go neigh, 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 and find a pitch at the bottom of your voice. Guys, you could do right around here like neigh, neigh, neigh. Ladies, you could probably do on this C sharp like neigh, neigh, neigh. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna walk up through that scale and repeat that top note 4 times, like this. Neigh, 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 neigh. Guys, coming down. Neigh, 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 neigh. Neigh, 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 neigh. Now notice that I never neigh, 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 and just kind of pulled up from that bottom part of my voice and just kept it really even. Neigh, 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 neigh. And that's exactly what builds your voice for the long term. Ladies, we're gonna do the same thing right here on C sharp. So, neigh, 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 neigh. Neigh, 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 neigh. Neigh, 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 neigh. Remember to keep it really ugly the entire time. Fantastic, great job, guys. Now, at this point, you'll feel probably like, well, great, I can do it on a gee, I can do it on a neigh, but that's no good because it's like bratty and it's super ugly. What about like a more finished exercise that's gonna help me sing those notes even better? And that's exactly where my next warm-up comes in. What we're gonna do is we're gonna keep that same scale of walking up and repeating that top note, but this time we're actually gonna do it on a more finished vowel. So rather than that A, like an A kind of ugly vowel, we're gonna do that on an O. So I want you to pretend like you're just saying the word no and sing no, 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 no. Guys, you can join me here. No, 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 no. Now here. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Ladies, you're gonna do the same thing right here. So, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. One more. No, 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 no. Fantastic. Now, by now, you should be hitting those top notes with a lot of power, and it should be conceivably with some of that no, with that same kind of strong sound that's not like hey or a gee or whatever. It's like a little bit more of a finished sound. Now, what we want to do next, and for our final singing technique that I want to show you today, is I want to show you that we can take that nice, strong, finished sound and we can apply it to your entire range. Now we're going to go back to that 1.5 scale that we were doing earlier, same 13-note scale, but this time we're going to do it rather than on like a gee, gee, gee or a no, 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 we're going to do that on a mum, mum, mum. Now the mum, mum, mum is one of the closest exercises to real singing, which is why I saved that to the very last. If you had any trouble with any of the previous exercises, go ahead and nail those down first and then make your way back to this one. So guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna sing that mum, on that octave and a half scale, just like this. Again, you can always feel your larynx as you do it. Now keep in mind that on none of those did I didn't flip or anything like that, and that would really tend to work well if you've given the other exercises the time that they deserve. Ladies, we're going to do the same thing right here, starting on G3. So, one more. Great job, guys. Now go ahead and take your time and work through these singing techniques really diligently. Really take your time with it, even doing them as much as once a day or for 30 minutes a day. It's a fantastic practice regimen for you to have. So by now, you should be feeling that those top notes are really quite easy for you, and they're really solid for you. Now, if you found that these techniques were helpful for you, you can find these and a ton more in our complete singing course, Master Your Voice. Now, I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description so that you can check that out. Thanks so much for watching, and happy singing.